Um, Hi guys. Today we'll be talking about how to build a bias and its benefit, like the benefit of being able to build a bias. Right? Like a bias is the story that you actually build as you analyze or as you break down the market, right? Do you actually build an idea of what you're doing? And remember, nobody knows that price will go up or down, hence like we take losses. Nobody's too certain about certain things, right? Mainly because of you don't know, you'll never know the outcome. You just follow the strategy that you use, and that strategy that you use is the one that actually helps you to um to take entries, to take, you understand, to know price will go up or down, right? So basically how to build a price is how to build an idea of what you think where price might go or might not, right? So basically, it's all about what we do. So basically, us having a specific video about this is because of we having people that just say, "Oh, they just come to the market, say, oh, break of structure, okay, right. Oh, since we have a break of structure, the market will come and buy here. Right, or the market will come and buy here. Right. Um, Come on, I did this thing, please. Hold on, guys, hold on a bit. So basically, they just do things like that. Okay, this is a break of structure. Price will come and buy here. For an example, let's say they said that, and price will just continue, right? And then that's it for them, right? So, having to build a bias is to cater each and every possibility of what price might do. Creating a bias is you becoming a cop. You understand? Investigating price and its movement, right? What price might do, what price might not do, right? That's what you're trying to do, right? And you being able to create a bias, right? Or to create an idea, proper idea, or a full story, not just an idea, a full story of the possibilities that the market has. It will help you know almost every what price is doing, why the price reacting here, why they didn't react here. You understand? So if price does something that you don't understand, which is something that will always happen. But then if like most of the time price does things that you don't know, why did it do this? It's because you were not able to create or cater for that possibility. And that thing comes from a lack of story of what you actually built, right? If you can remember quite correctly, we did mention here, right, that we having this leg, we having price printing this, right? And then we having price, right? Breaking what? This, right? I'm just going to make I'm just going to build a story based off of this, right? Okay, let's start on the daily as usual. Let's start on the daily as usual. All right, so you, right, building a story, you start on a daily time frame. So for an example, and you say things like okay, cool. Obvious with what you use, you obviously having this, right, where price took out the lows. My internet is breaking because of the weather. So now, we did see the market breaking a low. I basically, like what I always tell you guys whenever I analyze, don't just look at what I analyze, look at the tone, like what I'm saying, how I'm catering possibilities versus probabilities, right? And then we had price taking out the high in which we had a shift. What's going on now? Why is this thing not happening? Guys, today is the 21st. Like the internet is so bad. Like the internet is so bad. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's just tripping. We had something like this, right, where we saw in the daily time frame that okay, we now had a shift in structure, right? Come on. Daily shift in structure, right? We now had that, right? So one thing that comes to our mind as soon as we talk that is that okay, we are now trading in between this and now that, right? As soon as we printed this high, what we expected from the market is to do whatever it's doing and retrace to a specific level deeper, do whatever it want, but then must not take this, right? So now, okay, cool. Before price broke into this, we see these minor breaks, right? We see these minor breaks. We see this boy here, right? This minor break or minor structure, whatever you want to call it, because we can't say it's the overall structure if we say this is our overall break. So it means within the daily, this was a minor structure, and you can see, okay, this is the last structure that is printed within, right? So meaning that, okay, cool. The first thing that we want to be interested in is to see price coming into this demand um in which is we do start seeing, right? Is to come into this, right? But before we can do that, we are aware that okay, this whole thing here became a demand. Price can't retrace anywhere, like wherever it wants. Right? So us refining this, looking at the nearest demand area, we having something like this, right? And then what did we see here? We did see price printing a high. We see what substructure being built, right? And then we had a what? A supply area where on the daily, right? So we had a supply area on the daily, right? Because what did we see here? We saw price coming into a certain level and then try to react, but they never took the next structure. And then we see what? This counter trend holding, right? We see this counter trend actually holding, right? And then being able to break the next low, right? So now, if you can remember from the previous video, we had something like this, like specifically this bullish. Right, and if you check the first level, not to say it was invalid, but then it was not first, so it was not strong enough to actually break into there. Right. So now, does this thing now mean that we're now going to buy? Yes, we want to look at something that um we want to look at something that is within sorry. Like should there's something, let me switch off my phone. Come on, this thing is disturbing me. Are we now going to start buying? Not as yet. Right? We want to look at price behavior. We also want to cater the fact that these sellers, they seems to be holding where on the counter trend, right? So the idea that we can actually build here is that people that already had buyers here, you understand, price came back to actually wipe at them before it can actually push up. I Even though like there's a whole lot of buying, sorry, selling momentum here, it doesn't change the fact that we're still bullish, right? And because also there's also a lot of volume to the downside, hence you wanna monitor price movement, right? Because the other possibility that we're having is that price might come lower than this, because everything that's within this is available except this low, because this low was the one that was strong enough to actually break into it is the one that was strong enough to actually break these, right, and shift structure. Now we're experiencing a pullback, right? And then where is the available liquidity, right? The available liquidity, it's here, right? Because like if we had to monitor it based on how I actually showed you, we did see these two highs being printed, right? Got taken out. These two highs got printed, got taken out, price pushback, printed this high, this low, this high. Now we printed two lows, right? In which it makes what our available liquidity here, right? So now since we're retracing into this larger range here, right, demand range, we know for a fact that this low overall it's available, and this low overall it's also available, right? Meaning that we do understand that this one is not available because it's the one that is the strong one, right? We do understand the possibility of price pushing lower, right? That's what is important. You don't want to know, is this thing going to buy here? No, hey, because you want buyers. You're ready to actually take everything, right? Let's say, for an example, price decides to behave in this manner, right? Come into a specific level, right? Give you some reactions, push higher, gives you some sense of confirmation. You might as well say, I'm confident enough to actually sell here and probably push price a bit lower before you can actually buy, right? Because why price is still respecting these supply areas here, sorry, because you can see we created the new one right now, press the supply, and there press the demand, supply. And you can see like, okay, we just broke into a new low. If price, you know that you can still push that. But then if it gives you proper confirmations here to actually push higher, you know for a fact that, okay, cool, my main target should be within this demand range, right? Let's say, for an example, price comes into whatever level that we have, gives you some sense of confirmation. Your target should be within their supply range. Why is that? Because it's the trend is still bullish, right? You might as well leave other positions running if price will hold, because you don't want to play with profits where you say, okay, this thing is going to hold, in which like this topic, there's a specific topic for it, which is like, trade management and all of that, right? So now you don't want to be there. Like you don't necessarily want to target. You understand? This is you building because you understand the possibility. Like number one, what you should always cater whenever analyze, check the other possibilities. If you're having, okay, this is my bias right now, overall, we just hit into a specific level, and then this level might actually hold till the next high. You understand? And then ask yourself one question. What are the other possibilities that can actually make my trade go wrong? Is there any possibilities that could make my trade go wrong? And what are those possibilities? And if price decides to react in their favor, how do I now actually um, capitalize on those opportunities that I'm not actually looking at them? It's not you necessarily not looking at them, you're already catering them in case they happen, so that you're able to react to whatever the market presents to you. Now, this is when you're building a very solid story because now you're not just analyzing, you understand? You're catering everything. Like now, you are a cop in the market, right? You're a policeman, you're a soldier, you want to, you understand, cater every possibility, every corner, analyze everything. Because here, if you can see, even if like you go a bit in depth, you can see that we had this. If you girl can remember, you can remember so well that we had this as our first demand area when price started to retrace, right? And what did we see? We saw price, right, buying higher, sorry, trying to push, failed to take the next high, and then this level failed. And my idea was here when the level failed, price is trying to dive into deeper prices, right? Because this you can see price got mitigated. This was not mitigated. When price came into this failed, you see price creating that whole supply, that supply not being mitigated. And then funny enough, that level hold. You understand? And if this level hold, we probably may see price going a bit deeper or something like that. That's the idea that you want to build. That okay, cool, price is coming to react off of a failed supply or they feel like the leg that failed to break the next time, then now that's why it's pushing though. It's pushing. Always try to theorize things whenever you analyze all the fucking time. But it's gonna help you to build proper ideas, proper trading setups. And then they're gonna want you're looking at buyers in the morning. Why are you now selling? Because why you've decided to react however the market is behaving at that point, at that certain thing, at that, you didn't allow yourself to be stereotyped. Look at one thing, look at I so that's how you actually build a story, guys. You can actually go like with this um on smaller time frame, right? In alignment. I already told John how the higher time frame play versus the smaller time frame play. You understand? Play with that while still building the story, building. There's no way that you're gonna be successful or be profitable without you being able to create the story on the market. You understand? There is no way. Right? There's no way that you're gonna be able to do that without building a proper story because you're just going to rush, you know. So building a story is also be like how building a story it helps you to know if the market goes against you. This is the objective. Right. Hence I always say, guys, whenever I analyze, check my language, check how I talk, check on how I don't stick to one thing, but it's going to buy. You understand? I say this is the only thing that may kind of make price to go against us. This is the only thing that can actually, you know. So yeah, guys, I think that's it. That's it for whatever, because I believe you guys can actually go down with this, right? But then this is not the end of it, because now we're still gonna have Zooms together. This is just for me to actually, brush you up, you're getting cooked. But because this is an advanced type of thing, there's no need for me to actually go as in depth, especially with such topics. Obviously, there's some of the topics that needs me to actually go a bit deeper. But with this one, you can actually ride with it, like go down with it. I build a story. Like, what's my story on H4 compared to the daily? Right, what did I see on the daily? What am I seeing now? Is it recommended for me to actually buy like against this whole volume? You understand? And what are the possibilities of price going against me? What are the possibilities of this area of interest getting wiped? What? You get what I'm saying? And all like it's boring, but then all the fucking time you must always be in check. You understand? With that all the time, that okay, did I build a proper story in this setup for me to be, because like it also boosts your confidence into taking certain level because you have built enough story for you to take those levels. I think that's it. Like I don't want to actually like, break it down way too much, like over break it, because it's gonna start confusing you and you're not gonna get. I think right now straight to the point, and that's how it should be. Yeah.